Welcome to Green Gables.
Can I get adopted?
Hi, baby. You're welcome to have a seat on
A tiara? Oh my goodness, a tiara.
Do you want that? Yeah, a tiara. Who's Dolly? Who's a Dolly?
Can I see the tiara?
Oh yes, you can see the tiara.
Isn't that lovely?
That's my tiara.
Oh, beautiful.
There you go, Lady Maria. Yeah.
I need that. I need that doll.
You have something like that, you mean?
This guy do better at marketing today.
Hi, thanks for coming.
I'm going to let them bring their stuff in. Nice breeze coming through. Living on a breeze and the river, really good a breeze. And just go this way, go to your left, if you will. Yep, face it up. Gotcha.
Low in the back. I'm awful.
Alright, very good.
Look at those windows, aren't they? Isn't that spectacular?
There we go. Okay, very good. So just gather in here as much as you can.
Okay.
Years.
Is this getting moved, did you say, or is this all?
And this is not this house. There's another house around here.
And it didn't always have the thing outside. Isn't that something? Yeah. This looks like it's added on, doesn't it? Where did John and Karen go?
I'll tell you a little bit about the history of the house, and we'll start with some pictures of how the house looked when it was first built. So when it was first built, this is the picture. It was just what the architects would call a vernacular American forced work. Just basically a big box.
Oh, wow.
Now this is very common architecture throughout all of America. You see a lot of it in the Midwest. It still survives, but very common. It was, to some extent, an indication of the way in which Melbourne was. Remember that 1896, when this family came here, Melbourne was at best a few hundred people. It had been recently incorporated as a town, but still very small. If you started in Jacksonville on the boat and were coming down the channel, the captain might point out Rockledge, Titusville, Coco, Rockledge. But then as they passed here, they just say, well, that's the mouth of Crane Creek, there's a little community there. So the Wells family came to, all right, come on.
Oh, the baby. Look at the baby.
Oh yeah, yes, yes. gather in here if you would.
Look at that cute little doll in there. Little dolly. With the braids. Oh my goodness. All right.
Okay, so
What a pretty chair. Look at that beautiful chair.
So the furniture is all things that have been donated over the years by interested people who want to help us develop the project.
Lovely. Oh, lovely.
I wanted to show you one of the things I like to show people is this fretwork here. Now this is all hand carved. Take a look at the handiwork here. Now can you see as I'm taking this apart? Each piece is hand carved. Now when I first saw this, my thought, that isn't hand carved. That was the family history, hand carved. And then one of our visitors said, oh no. And he pointed me to some websites talking about a art form in the Orient that goes back centuries, exactly like this. So, yay verily. Yay verily. That's,
Look at all of it.
Formal parlor.
so this would have been the formal parlor. I mean, a house.
Don't you love that?
We have fitted this up as a ladies' parlor.
Oh my goodness. Look at the dishes.
Oh, look at the gallons.
Here's the gowns. Now, again, none of these are original, but they are typical of the period. All right, so what can I say? This is the room where Dad would not smoke his cigar and read his newspaper. Mom would not do her sewing and leave it out. If you were family, you came in the side door, but if you were formal, if you were the pastor, you would come into the front door. As near as I can judge, they didn't have very many formal visitors. And there's a disadvantage to being the historian in the room, because I had the inventory of what was really in this room. And what was really in this room was a roll-top desk, typewriter, surveying instruments, iron safe. This was Mr. Wells' engineering office.
Oh, not the fancy.
Yeah. But in later years, this room became a bedroom. I mean, houses evolved in the use over time. And I think there have been 4 generations involved with this house.
No, but she lived next door to us. In her 1906
So now you understand why education and reading and literacy is so important. William Twining Wells was the son of a banker, so he was a wealthy man. He lived in New York, and he went to college. He actually went to Columbia University, and his degree was in metallurgy. Well, what is that? That's the study of the property of metal. So what does he do with his knowledge? What's life like in New York City? Well, you can't have your own well with a pump for water. So you have to bring your water in through an iron pipe. And when it comes time to fill the sink and fill the tub, as you know, water through an iron pipe doesn't come out very pure. It comes out kind of orange, brownish, rusty colored water. So he's thinking, I need to help and design something that could bring in pure water to the people of New York City or the district. So we get a lot of 4th graders and school groups that come. And what we do in this room is Marion will make soap with them, or sometimes ice cream, the old-fashioned way.
Oh, we
Right?
want to do that
Yeah.
next time we come here.
And what I do, I'll sit in the reception room on the floor and I will play jacks and marbles with the kids. Guess how many kids come here knowing how to play jacks and marbles?
I know I do.
I do.
Yes.
Big kids, the big
I
kids do.
actually had one kid say, I know how to do it. And I looked at the mom, and it's because her grandmother taught her. So thank God for grandmothers, right? They still have so much to give.
Jackson Marble, yeah.
Yes. So we'll sit, oh my gosh, they said, where's this game, where have these games been all my life? They don't want to stop playing Jackson Marbles because it's so much fun. And so,
I'll get on the floor and play. Can you see us?
absolutely, best games ever.
Oh, there's the house.
Yeah, so there's the house.
Oh,
Now, this is after it was all done.
Oh.
This is the stable. The stable is right behind you, and right off US 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
These were some of the stable hands. So they had a big cast of servants, and they would come up from Crane Creek, and they would come by boat, and they would dock. You're going to see a picture of the dock. We're 12 feet above sea level here, and but I want to point out this is what the house looked like in its best condition, and this is what we're going to restore it. See this cute little jut that pops out? It doesn't look like that today because what Stanford did, and when Pearl was living here, Pearl wanted a sewing room. So he took these windows and pulled them out, and he put like a big rectangle. And so when you see the front,
No, unfortunately. So, as John probably mentioned to you, they had 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. Gladys was the daughter, she was the middle child. And when they first arrived here to the house, they were in their early teens, so anywhere between 12 to 15 years old. And this would have been an example of what Gladys's room would have looked like in terms of having her toys and her dresses and things like that. One of my favorite features in here is this desk. This is a little scrolling desk that can turn,
Good manners.
and you can actually take lessons on it.
Oh yes, behavior is a mirror in which everyone shows his image.
And there's a slate down there for them to practice their writing.
Oh, I need to read this for the manager's meeting.
Room. They did have separate bedrooms, but they didn't have to, of course.
Oh, Mr. Wills was a snorer. I can tell you that from
probably
experience.
so. So this particular room, Mrs. Wells' room, she liked to sew in addition to doing other things. Now, as you can see, this is the room, unfortunately, that has the most damage from the last group of hurricanes in 2004. But nonetheless, again, as John mentioned, the rooms were actually expanded. So you can see there's a beam in the ceiling again. And this whole bay area, or turret as we like to call it, was added on. So everything was finished around 1901.
And was this Pearl's sewing room or Gladys's?
It was actually Pearl's again, but Gladys, of course, was here too. They moved on. She and her husband moved on. And then Pearl was more local. They stayed behind in terms of the area.
about coming sometime.